All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I appreciate your time. My name is Tom LaHood. I'm part of the Education Committee that supports the SCORE chapter for Manatee and Sarasota counties. Today's topic, 5 reasons why banks say no. In a moment, we will turn it over to our presenters to deliver the presentation. But first, a brief overview of SCORE for those who are new to SCORE or maybe have not worked with SCORE mentors or SCORE chapters in the past. And by the way, this program is recorded and we will share with you a replay link as well as a copy of the presentation. SCORE is a nationwide nonprofit organization that is an independent resource partner for the U.S. Small Business Administration. Since 1964, SCORE has assisted over 11 million clients and small businesses throughout the entire country. Our chapters exist in every state. And also SCORE provides completely free support and advice for small businesses. It is confidential mentoring programs in which you'll be able to work with a subject matter expert, a retired executive who will assist you in a confidential manner, whether it be it in person or online, wherever convenient to you. And we also host many educational programs as the one you're participating in today, with more than 300 chapters nationwide. You can go to score.org and you can view all the programs that have been recorded. You can see content from other chapters and be able to access that content from YouTube and also other social media. We have more than 90 volunteers in our combined chapter here for Sarasota and Manatee counties. And we've been around for almost 50 years, actually a little more over 50 years. So we're very proud of our history and what we've done to support the community. As far as SCORE itself, some of you may know this, but may not be known to others. SCORE is not just part of a singular part of the journey. We are part of the entire journey of a small business or even medium-sized business where we can assist you in the pre-startup stages, getting to research your market, getting to understand a little more about your product or service area, and also helping you scale your business as you launch and grow. And also we are a big part of the entire life cycle as far as closing and exiting a business. So if you're looking to sell or close a business, we can also assist you in those endeavors. Just a word of thanks as well to our sponsors today. Our chapter is grateful to those that you see on the screen. Those are our community partners that assist us in not only helping to structure programs that matter to you, but also helping support in-person programs and other activities that the chapter organizes every year. So thank you to all our sponsors for their support. And also just to mention to you that if you're new to SCORE and you're interested in what I described as the life cycle of a business, starting a business, scaling a business, growing a business, and you'd like to learn more about what we can help you with, you can always go to our website, score.org/Minnesota, and request to be connected with a mentor in your area of that business so we can align subject matter expert. You can speak to them on a confidential basis, explore what we can do for you, and decide if you'd like to move forward with that, what's called mentoring or coaching. So I encourage you to do that. Whether you want to do it today or later on, feel free to do so. You can also use your mobile device to scan this QR code if you'd like to select and apply for a mentor. At the end of the program today, we will take your questions. So please feel free to submit those in the chat window. That is part of our Zoom program today. Also, you can do that with the Q&A command, but chat window is a lot easier so we can both see your questions and our presenters can answer those questions in real time. So without any further delay, I'd like to briefly introduce to you our speaker today. Thank you, Boyd, so much for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Very busy. For those who do not know Boyd, he's a serial entrepreneur who has started or purchased 8 different businesses in his career. And getting funding has always been the do or die part of every deal.
Yep.
The last time he was told no by a bank, he took it personally and became a business loan broker and founded Otro Financial with the purpose of helping other entrepreneurs like you finding the funding they need to get their dreams off the ground. Boyd earned his MBA from Indiana University, as well as a master's in global management from the Thunderbird School of Global Management. He speaks on multiple topics, including business funding, specifically for SCORE and the Small Business Development Councils. Boyd, thank you so much. I'll yield over to you. Please take it away.
Terrific. Thank you very much. I will share my screen. And there we go. All right, there we go. Thank you, Tom, very much. And I'm joined here with by Carol Guevara. We work together Carol's a native Spanish speaker. I'm not a native Spanish speaker, but I do all right. And so we have a large amount of Spanish speaking clientele. More of a coincidence than anything. Our name is Otro Financial, which is a Spanish word for other. And I'll explain that in a minute as to why we chose that name and the unintended success that came from it. But first of all, I need to give a shout out to SCORE. I love SCORE. I appreciate everything that SCORE does, especially the volunteers, um, the, the the mentors, the volunteers, everything that SCORE does, they're volunteers. And so this webinar and the other webinars that you get, they're generally all very high quality and they're free. The people that donate their time at SCORE, they're special people. The help that you can get from these mentors is astonishing. I mean, truly, these are people who've probably done what you want to do. So get a mentor, get help, let somebody from SCORE assist you in getting your dream off the ground. I'm a SCORE client myself. I'm an aspiring mentor. And one of these days, maybe I'll be hosting like Tom is today. So I can't say enough good about SCORE. It's really an honor and a privilege to have my name and my company associated with SCORE the way we do. So just it's a great thing. I'm watching very, very closely the funding situation. I've written my senators and representatives, and they're tired of hearing from me now, but I'm not stopping because we need SCORE to stay around. However, it's going to happen. We need SCORE to stay around. So let's get off on, there we go. There we go. Okay, so lunchtime learning. We love this. So this is your time to learn. So focus, right? Close the door, put the dog out, silence the phone, whatever. Minimize interruptions because this is good stuff we're going to share with you today. So you are in the right place. If you have a business idea or you've identified a business you want to start, maybe you've identified a business you want to buy, or you already have a business and it needs support or improvement or expansion, you're in the right place. Maybe you funded your startup with your own cash and credit cards and you've gone as far as you can with your own resources. We hear about this all the time. People calling for help who need cash to make this happen, to get out of the metaphorical corner into which they've painted themselves. And especially, you're in the right place if the bank has already told you no. If they haven't, they're about to. And you need to find out how to give yourself the best possible chance of being accepted and being funded. And that's what we're going to share with you today. So, why am I the one talking about this today? Well, as Tom mentioned, I've started or purchased 8 different businesses in my career, and getting funding has always been do or die. Under contract as of yesterday, number 9. I actually turned that one down this morning, so still at 8. Yeah. I got excited when I put the slide deck together. Banks have told me no. And as Tom mentioned, after that most recent no, yeah, I took it personally. This was a few years ago. I went and got the training I needed and built the relationships and the network I need to become a business loan broker so I could help other people who are running into the same problem I was running into. And I'll tell that story a little bit later. So as a broker, I'm not a direct lender, but I have relationships with everybody. And so commercial loan officers, commercial real estate agents, business brokers, franchise consultants, many SCORE mentors, as well as SBDC mentors, refer business owners and would-be business owners to us for funding. And what we do is we match lenders and borrowers. And we know what the lenders need to see in order to make money available for you. So this is insider information. We know what they need to see. And I speak about this all throughout the Southeast. I was in Tennessee last week teaching classes on this. SCORE chapters, SBDC chapters, any kind of entrepreneurial group or county economic department frequently asks us to come speak on these topics. So it's near and dear to our hearts. We love entrepreneurship. We truly believe that small business is the key to growth and stability in our great country. I want to introduce you as well now to Carol. And Carol, you can introduce your story here.
Thank you so much. I'm Carol Guevara. Was born and raised part of my life in Colombia, South America. and I came here and I've just been working with Ultra Financial as well and learning so much from Boyd. And just working with commercial loan officers, commercial real estate agents, business brokers, franchise consultants, SCORE mentors, and SBDC mentors to refer business owners and or probably will be business owners as well for us to for funding. So we do this all day, every day. We match lenders with borrowers, and we know what lenders need to see to make the money available for you.
And you are a multi-time entrepreneur as well
Yes.
with your e-commerce businesses and
Yes, I
yeah.
had an e-commerce business for 6, 7 years, and it was really fun. And I was shipping and selling a lot of things from here to Colombia and South America. So it was great.
And the bank told you no?
Yes.
So there's a common element here among
Yes.
us at Otro. The
Mhm.
banks told us everybody no at one point or another. So, all
Mhm.
right. So, okay. So the theme, that the name of this webinar today is the top 5 reasons why your small business loan request was or will be denied. And so let's make a guess here. What do you think the number one reason is why your loan request was denied or will be denied? We'll give you just a minute to think about that. If you said you asked the bank for a loan, you are correct. Number
Yes.
one reason your request was denied because you went to a bank for the loan, right? Banks are notorious for saying no. Let's talk about that.
Hmm.
So banks usually say no to business loans. According to Forbes magazine, I guess this article is now 2 years old, but at the time, and I think it's still accurate, 80% of small business loan requests were denied by the large banks. Those are the big boys, the Chase, the Wells Fargo, Bank of America. But 71% are denied by the small banks. So your little regional banks, your credit unions, they do a better job. They don't say no as often, but still 71% of the time is pretty disheartening. Now, we're not bashing on the banks. We need the banks. We absolutely need the banks. And the bank is the first and best place you should go because the loan terms generally are going to be the best. The interest rates are going to be the lowest. It's usually the best deal if you can get it. Okay?
Hmm.
If you can get it. So we frequently ask our clients when they call us, we say, have you already talked to the bank? And they'll say, yes, and they told me no, or they'll give us some reason they want to work with us instead. Fine. But you have to remember if you can get it, you want the bank financing. However, it's hard to get. The banks have these neat little boxes you have to fit in. They're very risk averse. For example, we've got a good relationship with TD Bank here where we are in Florida, and the bank manager called me one day and he said, "We've got a guy here who did a paper application, but he checked the wrong box and scribbled it out and then circled the one next to it." He says, because of that error on the application, we cannot accept his application. Can you help him? I said, yeah, send him over. So he had great credit. It was a very easy deal to get done. But the bank, in this case, couldn't even accept a paper application that had scribbles on it. And they couldn't start over. I don't know why. He didn't explain it to me. We just took it and ran. But it was very easy to fund. Banks, additionally, and here's the real trouble for startups and small businesses. Banks want to see 2 years of activity, 2 years of history.
Hmm.
What happens if you don't have 2 years of history?
You need help.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
up. There's little help from the
Mhm.
banks if you don't have 2 years of history. So the banks also are going to want to see a detailed business plan, projections, and they need you to prove to them how you're going to generate a return on the investment, how you're going to turn their money into more money. And projections are just hopes and dreams, right? I mean, you do your best, but predicting the weather and projecting your financials are two of the hardest things that you can ever do.
Mhm.
But we're here to say it's difficult, but it is possible to get startup or early funding from a bank in those first 2 years. It's not easy. So the number one reason you're going to be turned down is the fact you went to a bank. Okay. So when the federal government began to realize that it's very, very hard for small businesses to get loans, they came up with the Small Business Administration, which itself does not guarantee loans, but they came up with what are called SBA loans. And so there's two common loans here that they came up with, the 7A, and I think 520 is a typo, my mistake. The four I need to correct that. I'm sorry. It's it's not the not the 520. Um, the 420. I think it's a 420. Um, those are designed for acquiring existing businesses or buying commercial real estate, big things, large equipment, concrete pumping towers and excavators and big things. They really aren't designed for funding startups. And so they said, okay, great. We're going to do what's called a micro loan then, a much smaller version of an SBA loan, up to $50,000. But later came to find out about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, the average loan disbursement was $13,000. We never get anybody asking us for 13,000.
No.
That's just hardly enough to start or buy a business. Okay. So great, there's the SBA, but it doesn't really help you if you're trying to start a business. Now, if you're trying to buy an existing business, that 7A is terrific. So if you're looking to buy a business, let's talk about a 7A loan. But if you're trying to get one off the ground with your own funding, there really aren't options for you. You want to talk about the microlenders?
Yes, the microlenders, we have two really good ones that we work with as well, or we can refer people to.
Mhm.
And this one is also coming from the SBA guarantee loan microloans.
Mhm.
Great programs, they have great terms, but you have to be in business at least 6 months
So
already, and
there's the
getting
hurdle.
yes, and getting some revenue already. And then is the BBIF or the Black Business
Investment fund.
Investment Fund,
Yep.
and us also as we guarantee microloans. This is a great program as well. You don't have to be Black or African American to be part of or to um, um, ask for a loan there, but you must be in business for at least 12 months.
12 months. Okay.
So,
So you got to be in business 6 months to get money, or you got to be in business 12 months to get money.
mhm,
How do you get money if you're just starting? There
mhm,
aren't like well, there's very few. Oh, I just gave the answer away. Sorry. Here's the next one. The top 5 reasons why your small business loan request was or will be denied. The second reason why is
your business is less than 2 years old.
less than 2 years old. And we just touched on some of those reasons. The
Yeah.
banks want you to be at least 2 years old first.
Yes.
So why is it so hard, Carol? I'll ask you, why is it so hard to get money if your business is under 2 years old?
Yes, because there is no business history to back up your idea. You're
Yep.
just starting, maybe not even breaking even, or making just starting making a little revenue, getting on your feet,
Mm.
starting getting your business history.
Yep.
On your credit as well. So
Yep.
no proof that that idea has worked yet,
Right.
unless it's a proven franchise, but we've seen it a lot.
Yep.
If you want to see the list of franchise that can be approved, is on
Yeah.
our website.
Yep.
And there you can read through it, maybe look if you have an idea, or maybe yours is there.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh-huh. You might have hopes, dreams, and forecasts, but for them, it's just not enough. For the banks, they need
I don't know anybody who lands on
results.
hopes and dreams.
Yes. And the startups have a low success rate for them, for the majority of them. That's what they think.
Mhm.
So lending cash to startups is a risky thing, and banks don't like risk.
They do not like risk at
They
all.
don't.
Yeah. So, Carol, you made a great point. Thank you. That if you are looking to open a franchise, on our website, otrofinancial.com,
Mhm.
we do have a downloadable list of the SBA approved franchises. Not all the franchises are on there, but that's a good place to look. The
Mhm.
SBA has a much easier time approving funding for a franchise than it does for hey, I have this great idea for an ice cream shop. Let's open it up, right? If it's an
Mm-hmm.
original idea, it's a lot harder to get that money. The franchise is much easier because it's a proven model that's worked over and over in likely dozens or hundreds of places in the country. So, yeah, you can see that, download that from our website.
Yes, it's
Okay,
there. Thank you.
great point. So it's this idea that it's hard to get money as a startup, and it is. And from the first idea you have for your business until you've been in business 2 years, you're considered a startup. And so any credit or lending decisions that anyone's going to make are going to be based on the personal credit of the owner or the owners of the company, not the company, because there's no company history to look at. If your personal credit is good, then there can be money available during the startup period. The
Mm-hmm.
last week, I was in Tennessee speaking to a group of entrepreneurs who are looking to buy businesses, and there's two styles of purchase. One is called um, um, an asset purchase, and the other is called a stock purchase. If it's a stock purchase, I'm buying the entire company. I'm adding my name to the checking account. Checking account stays the same. The tax number stays the same. All the history, all the liabilities, everything comes through. Most entrepreneurs want to do what's called a stock sale, where they're buying the name, the website, the customer list, but they're starting with a brand new entity number with the IRS. They're creating their own brand new LLC. They're opening their own new bank accounts. The only challenge there is no matter how old the company is that you just bought, on the day you sign the papers, it is now also a startup.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a company 5 years ago in November that had already been around 20 years. But the moment I signed the papers, it was now technically a startup. And so you don't have any business credit. You don't have, and it's a hard time. It's a very dangerous time, actually, because it's hard to get funding. You say I'm 25 years old, but really you just signed the papers last week, so it's a startup. So this affects everybody. Yep. Okay. Oh, there it is. I give away the answer again. All right, Carol, what's the
Mm-hmm.
third reason that somebody's loan request would be denied?
Yes, unfortunately, that your personal credit stinks,
Stinks. Sorry.
and that hurts.
It does hurt. So
Yes.
talk about that.
So this is the number one reason that Ultra cannot help someone, right? And if it's because your credit score should be at least
At
680.
least a 680.
680.
Mhm.
The higher, of course, the better.
Yep.
But 680 is what we're looking for at least.
Mhm.
No derogatory comments that will kill definitely your credit score and your credit report, like late payments, charge-offs, collections. Please avoid all of those.
Especially on your mortgage.
Yes, because it will haunt you for years.
Mhm.
And especially in your mortgage. Don't even be late on your
Yeah.
mortgage, please. And be careful. I always tell them on our webinars, we be careful when you're car shopping as well, because you can have a lot of those inquiries.
The finance manager, the
Yeah.
dealership will put a bunch of inquiries on your credit all at once. You don't want that.
No.
Careful.
Your credit is two thing because you need to be using at least one credit card from a major bank, and hopefully that car has a very good credit
Yeah,
limit.
at least a decent limit. Yeah.
Yes. And we have, and we call it this like our
Secret weapon.
weapon.
Yeah.
Our co-signers above 680 are always welcome, because
Yeah.
yes, we have entrepreneurs that are open or another startup, or they're being hurting and they just want to start
Mhm.
a new business, and unfortunately their credit has been damaged.
Mhm.
So they can ring over relative, spouse, family member, best friends, coworker, a
Right.
new business partner.
Mhm.
Yes, as long as they have a good credit,
Yep.
with a good credit history, a good credit score, they're always welcome.
Always welcome. Yeah, we love the co-signer program.
And they have been the great answer for those that need to work on their credit repair and they're still on that route, but need the money as soon as possible.
Yes, exactly.
So,
If you'd like deeper, more complete education on what your credit report should look like before you apply for a loan, go to our website, otrofinancial.com. Scroll down to the bottom. We have a weekly podcast called When Banks Say No. And the most recent episode, as of today, talks specifically about what your credit report should look like before you apply. And we break down a
Yes.
couple of credit reports to show why this one worked, why this one didn't. So that's some helpful additional homework if you want to spend the time at otrofinancial.com.
Yes.
Okay, so the third reason is the credit just stinks, right? We
Mhm.
can't now we can refer you away to our friends at ASAP Credit Repair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes, I'm sorry that I
yeah, when
interrupted
there's derogatory
you.
comments,
Yes.
late payments, things like that, they have
Mhm.
an excellent record of getting those cleaned up in a relatively short period of time
Yeah.
so that people can come back to us with a better credit report now and get the funding they're looking for.
Mhm. It works.
It works. Yeah, it works. We sometimes we can't help you today,
Mhm.
but with these guys' assistance, maybe we can help you in a month or two to keep your dream alive. So there are things that can be done to fix personal credit, and we'll guide you and put a plan together and help you get that score higher than a 680, so you can get what it is you're looking to get. All right, the fourth reason why your loan was or will be denied.
Ta-da! Your personal credit utilization is too high. Pretty common,
Pretty,
boy.
yeah, it is. It is common. So what does that mean, Carol? Personal credit utilization is too high.
Yes, this is a number
Are
two
these my
reason.
credit cards?
Yes,
Yes.
that Ultra cannot help someone in
Yep.
this credit utilization. You have been utilizing your credit cards above, like really more than you should. And we usually expect to be, and the banks like to see, and the lenders like to see at least 45% or less,
Yeah.
but we like to keep it below.
No more than
No,
45%. Yep. And that's higher
45%.
than it used to be. We used to have a limit of 30,
Mhm.
but now the banks will allow us to do this at 45.
Um,
Okay.
so we're only looking at utilization of revolving accounts,
Right.
not like credit cards, not student loans or mortgages or personal loans,
Don't
because
care about those for
no,
this. Yep.
and it makes sense, totally sense.
Yep.
Sometimes we can get you a personal loan by paying down that credit card balances first.
Yep.
And then when your score jumps up, and we can see it on our next like round in your credit cards balance and the report, and then your credit utilization goes down,
Yep.
additional money can be available. And we usually also suggest that some people, like if you want more money, let's wait a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's fix that, and then we can go for as much as we can.
Yeah, we like to help optimize the credit
Mhm.
report so that they can get everything possible. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can never really be too overcapitalized. You want to get as much as you can get.
Yes.
All right. Now there is, before I give away answer number five, we do have, in addition to this possibility of getting you a personal loan to pay down your credit card balances, get within the right ratios so you can qualify for funding, we have a third party group called Bridget
Mhm.
who will actually purchase your personal credit card debt, hold on to it for a little while, and then charge it back to you on hopefully new business credit cards that we've been able to set up for you, where now those personal debts, those personal expenses are now written off as business expenses. So a little trick um, to buy down your debt, increase your credit score, lower your utilization, and be able to get you more money through this funding. So that's a nice little trick. We've done it a couple of times. It's not free. We've had a couple of clients do it, and they were really glad they did it because it helped get them out of a bind
That's a good way to start your credit, business credit history as well.
as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
and we will touch on that a little bit here in a
Mhm.
moment.
Mhm.
The last reason why your business loan was or will be denied is you just don't have enough business credit. We've
Mhm.
talked on this a couple of times here. Business credit. Business credit is different than personal credit. If you just don't have enough of it, there's not going to be money made available for you. So we talked about this at the beginning with getting yourself painted into a corner. So many small businesses get started, and if I'm speaking to you right now, raise your hand. But so many businesses get started with the owner's cash, savings, or credit cards, or all of the above, and they reach a point, where they can't grow anymore because they're maxed out, right? They
Mhm.
have to have some new cash, some new arrangement, some new funding because they've spent all their money or they've maxed out their credit cards or both. The credit score is starting to go down, and this could have been avoided if they had known about business credit and how to build it properly. Okay, trick question. When's the best time to plant a tree?
30 years ago.
30 years ago. When's the next best time? Today.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday, today, tomorrow, right? Okay. So business credit, you can start tomorrow, if you didn't start 30 years ago.
Mhm.
But this is another webinar that we do. It's also free and it's awesome, in which we teach you step by step. It's a literal tutorial how to build business credit. There's actually a recording available on our website, so you can see a past webinar and get that information. Because when you build business credit the right way and in the right sequence, and there is a right way and a right sequence, we'll flip the tables. And instead of begging the banks for money like startups do, within a couple of years, you can have the banks chasing you with offers for capital, free capital, no cost capital, low cost capital. And it's a great place to be in. We call it the free money club,
Yes.
where the banks are now chasing you. And so if you don't have enough business credit, the banks just aren't going to care. They're not going to give you anything. But once you have it set up the right way, literally they will be chasing you. So again, go to otrofinancial.com, watch the website called How to Create
Create.
and Leverage the Power of Business Credit. And that's there for you on demand. Okay, so business credit, you want to give a tutorial?
Yeah, so it's of course tied to your business, and either is if it's existing or future maybe.
Future,
So
yeah.
it's important to start if you're planning on it, or if you. We have so many cases of clients like, I created my LLC. It's been sitting there for a while,
Doing nothing.
and I haven't done anything really. Okay, let's just start creating, a credit tied to your business.
Yes.
So this is a great advice. The business entity itself qualifies for funding and
Mhm.
credit,
Yep.
and it is not tied to your social security or your FICO score, no personal guarantees needed.
Yes.
So why not? Credit and funding is based on the business ability to pay, not
Yep.
just yours or your personal credit.
Yep.
So it is important to start working on creating history. The things you can do with business credit far exceed always what you
Yeah.
can do with your personal credit.
Exponentially exceed what you could do
Mhm.
with your personal credit for sure. Yep.
But sometimes we can ask also for funding on both sides, on your personal.
Yes, we can.
So,
We know tricks to getting you as much as possible.
yeah.
All right, so let's review then these top 5 reasons why your loan request was or will be denied. Number one, Carol,
You ask a
you
bank.
asked a bank.
Mhm.
Number two, your business is less than 2 years old. That hurts. Number three,
Your business credits stink. Your
say it
personal credit
stinks.
stinks.
Yeah, but we can help you fix it.
Absolutely.
Number four, your personal credit card utilization percentages are simply too high. We got to
Mhm.
get those down. We can help. And
Mhm.
number five,
You have not established sufficient business credit.
not enough business credit. So there are solutions to each of these
Mhm.
big five problems. So there is hope. There is still funding available for true startups and businesses that are younger than 6, 12, and 24 months in business. How about 0 days in business? How about,
Just an idea.
Carol, I just had an idea for a new business. Do you know where I can find some money for it?
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
Yes. Well, let's talk about that. In fact, I'll tell my little story here.
Mhm.
This was 5 years ago now. My wife had kind of had it with my startups, and she said, "How about this time we actually buy a business that actually has customers and revenue already?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a really good idea." So I'd done it before, and so with her encouragement, I just did it again. And so I spent a lot of time looking for businesses, found a great broker out of Orlando. Email me if you want his name. And started looking and looked and looked and looked and finally found one that I thought, this works. The structure was right. The setup was right. It was a CPR medical training center that had been around for 20 years. It had a huge book of business, lots of repeat customers. The owners had had it for 20 years and they wanted to retire. and they were selling the business for $120,000. And I thought, oh boy, this is a bargain. My credit score was above 800. I easily had 25% cash to put down. And so I thought, I am the
Easy.
perfect
Yeah.
candidate for a business loan, right? Roll out the red carpet. Here I come. I'm going to come borrow money from, from your bank. Now, this was during COVID. And so I don't know if this is how banks always do it or if they were just doing it during COVID. But I called and called and called and called and called. I called every bank and every credit union here in Brevard County, Florida, where we are. No one ever answered their phone. No one ever returned a voice message. I mean, here's a hot prospect for a loan, right? And nobody even called me back. Now, just like when you're buying a house, you have a certain period of time to get your money, your loan in order. And so I had this business under contract and I had a certain amount of period, a certain amount of time by which I had to have my financing in place or I would lose the deal. So time was ticking and I couldn't get anybody to answer their phones. So finally, I kept calling, and finally a lady at one of the local banks here answered, and I was so excited, told her everything. Hey, here's Harold. Yeah, here's my deal. Here's what I'm looking to buy. Here's how old it is. Here's how much money I have. Here's my credit score. Here's where I went to college. Here's my whole life history, right? And she kind of paused and she said, wait, tell me again, how much do you need? I was only asking for $90,000. That was all I was asking for. And for me, that was a big deal 5 years ago to get this $90,000. And she said, oh, this deal's too small for us to take on. I couldn't believe it. Like, how could you say that to somebody? This deal is too small for us to take on.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't, I was stunned. And she said it would actually be easier for us to get you $1 million. Well, I didn't need $1 million. I couldn't afford $1 million. I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, it's just not worth my time. The commission I'll make on a $90,000 loan takes the same work as $1 million loan. And, but I'm only going to get this much. I'm like, she said, it's just not worth my time. Thanks. And I was stunned. I'd never had a banker tell me they don't want my business. However, she did say she thought she knew somebody who might be able to help me. There had to be somebody, right? Because if you're looking for a business to buy and you go to bizbuysell.com, for example, go look at how many of those businesses are for sale that are under 100,000 or
Mm-hmm.
200 or $300,000. Somebody is financing those deals. Clearly not her bank, but somebody's doing that. So I thought there's got to be somebody. So she referred me to a guy that she called an alternative lender. Okay, sounds a little shady, doesn't it? Alternative lender. But she said it's somebody who works on the smaller deals that they don't. So I thought, okay, I didn't care what alternative lender meant. I'm like, give me the guy's number. So she gave me the number. The guy answered on the first ring. Should I have been nervous? I don't know. Um, but she said, this guy just should have said, all he had to say was, yeah, Boyd, I can get that money for you. And I would have gone with him because I was up against the clock. He had the money. And he said, yeah, I can get that for you. But for some reason, I don't know why, he launched into this huge lecture, took 45 minutes, like the history of lending, the history of interest rates, the Federal Reserve, lost me, confused me, intimidated me. I thought, I can't do this. I cannot work with this guy. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I just said, thanks, but no thanks. Okay. I half expected to meet this guy behind the 7-Eleven, peels off the wad of hundreds right here, pay me Thursday. I just couldn't accept that that was my only option. It can't be like this, right? There's too much activity to not have somebody reputable and good funding these deals. So I rejected my options. Now, fortunately, I have previous experience raising capital and did some investment banking. I phoned in a favor. I called a friend and I said, can you give me 90 grand this week?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I was really, really lucky. Okay. Not many entrepreneurs get past the first no. When the bank says no, they just fold, right? They just crumble. Oh, okay. I can't get funded. My dream is dead. Fortunately, I had contacts that allowed me to go ahead. We did buy the business. We grew it significantly over 4 years. We sold it last November. Yeah, yes. I mean, that's the American dream. Sold it for a lot more than we bought it for, and that was great. Um, so there was a happy ending to that story. But what the problem here was is that alternative world just didn't feel right. and the banks weren't saying yes. And so I recognize there's a serious problem here in that most entrepreneurs do not get past the first no. And Carol, how often do the banks say no?
80%.
At least 80%, 80% of the time. So
Yeah.
you gotta have a thick skin, and you have to be you gotta persevere. So this is in a way my comic book hero origin story. In that I was denied by the bank. I took it personally. And so I realized we need alternatives here to the traditional banks and even to the alternative bankers. And so seeing that need, I went and learned what I needed to learn, built the network I needed to learn, got the training I needed to get to become a business loan broker. And so we chose the name Otro because it's a Spanish word meaning other or alternative. I didn't like the sound of alternativefinancial.com. Anyway, otrofinancial.com. So we like to say if the bank said no, call Otro. You need an alternative, and we can be that alternative. We are that alternative. So, before I advance the slide, let me tell you, get ready. If you are taking pictures or screen captures or whatever, I'm going to show you the most popular funding option that we have for startups and small businesses.
My
Okay.
favorite.
This is Carol's favorite. This is called the syndicated line of credit. Okay.
Mhm.
This is not based on revenue. This is not based on time in business. It is only based on your credit score. We can get usually up to $150,000 per person. So if Carol and I are going to business together, maybe we can get 150 each. 300 grand's pretty good cash to start or buy a business.
Absolutely.
Husband and wife team, two partners, group of four, whatever. Usually 120, 150 per person. We don't care if you don't have revenue. This is not based on revenue. What we do is when you apply at otrofinancial.com, our system will automatically do what's called a soft credit pull. Does not affect your credit score. How many times a day could we do a soft pull?
Oh, as many as we want.
That is you want.
Day every day.
No impact.
No.
Okay. As long as you have a 680 credit score and you're ideally using 40, I say 25 here, I got to update that. That's a mistake. 45% or less of your credit. That's the ratio we just talked about, the credit card utilization. If you're at a 680 or higher and 45% or less on your credit card, you're a good candidate. There's other things you have to look at, but you're a good candidate then for the program. And this funding comes in the form of one or more new credit cards from the major banks, ideally in the name of your new business. If not, it can come to you personally. And you can use this new credit just as a credit card to pay for anything you would with a credit card, or you can also convert it into cash and have the cash put into your bank account. And this money comes to you with 0% interest for anywhere from 12 to 24 months.
Mm.
That's a nice way to start a business. Up to let's say up to $300,000 together, 0% interest for 12 to 24 months.
Yes.
Nice way to go. Nice way to go. Okay. All right. Couple other things here. What if you have an idea, but you don't have the cash? We work with a funding company up in the Seattle area that legally works with you to convert a 401k or an IRA program without any penalty, any tax penalties whatsoever. It converts that money into a third-party entity that can invest in your business with you or help you buy the business. So sometimes you don't even need a loan. You can use your own business. You can use your own funds. I mean, so why borrow the money if you don't have to borrow the money? Maybe you already have the money and you just don't realize it. And honestly, with all of the layoffs that you hear about every day, so many people now have retirement funds being managed by a previous employer that they don't often think about could be used to buy or start a business.
A new business.
Okay. This third option we don't do much of, but it is possible to borrow against your real estate. If you have real estate that's worth $1 million, regardless of your credit score, there can be money available against that real estate. And the last option are the term loans. Personal term loans, and usually we could do a combination of personal term loans and the syndicated line of credit for people who really need a lot of cash. The highest we've been able to get so far, I think it was 340,000.
Yes.
for a husband and wife in South Carolina who wanted to open a Montessori school. They got 340 in personal loans and syndicated line of credit. Okay. You want to talk about some existing business options?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So the lines
This is my favorite, a line of credit.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Lines of credit as an alternative funding options for existing business, based, of course, on your current revenue and the years in business.
This is
And
existing businesses.
existing. And if you have a you have to have a brick and mortar to have alternative funding, like prove that you have, there's an address,
Place, yeah.
prove that we have a
Yeah.
place that has your business. Then working capital loans, they're shorter loans, they're flexible to pay by terms to help cover the payroll, inventory, normal operation expenses. We work with a few of those.
And we've got somebody right
Mhm.
now
Mhm.
that missed their appointment with us,
Mhm.
who's looking for a working capital loan. It's a restaurant in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
81 years old.
81 years old, super hot, and the AC just went out. Was it the AC or the fridge?
Both.
Both. Oh, gee.
And is the front AC and the back AC.
Air conditioning
Mhm.
and the fridge both failed in the last couple of days, and they need cash quickly to get the AC fixed or replaced and get their fridge. So this would be called a working capital loan. It's a short, flexible, kind of a right away thing
And he needs
to help
for
cover
payment
this.
too.
It needs some payroll money too.
Yeah.
So we got Abdi to, we need to have a long conversation with him.
Mhm.
But that kind of a working capital loan is available. Now I'm going to mention here, watch out for merchant cash advances. These are
Please.
called MCAs. Texas just outlawed them 2 weeks ago. Yay. A merchant cash advance is technically not a loan, but they give you a whole bunch of cash and then they tie into your credit card processing system and take the money out as soon as you get it. So it's very hard to get out of. They're predatory enough that Texas just outlawed them. If you think you're having cash problems now, do an MCA or two, and you'll have even worse cash flow problems. If you're having cash flow problems, let's talk. There's other ways to work around it. A merchant cash advance, it's like eating snow when you're thirsty. It's just going to make it worse and worse and worse. Um, that's the first time I mentioned snow since I moved to Florida 5 years ago. Anyway, so working capital loans can help in those situations.
Absolutely.
Term loans are longer term deals.
Yes, term loans are longer term deals for equipment or major purchases up
Mhm.
to 1 million.
Yeah.
So some lenders don't look at financials or tax returns. Some do. It
Some
does
do,
depend. So it's just kind of case by case.
case by case.
Some lenders don't season down payment money.
Some
So
do.
yeah,
Yep.
so it also depends on the lenders.
Mhm.
Some require you have an actual business address and some
And
don't.
some don't.
Mm-hmm.
So don't rule yourself out. Let's have a conversation and find options. There's almost always an option available. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the cash advances I just spoke out against.
Yes.
Now, equipment leasing is a really neat category because if you're starting a business, you need trucks, you need equipment, and that's a lot of cash out of pocket up front, right? Have you ever considered leasing that equipment instead? It's possible if it has an invoice, like a window sticker or an invoice, send it to us, and we may be able to put together a leasing program for you that
Mhm.
that lowers your upfront cost and smooths out the cash flow, keeps your payments lower.
Mhm.
Anytime you can improve your cash flow, right? That's a win.
Yes.
Okay. In invoice factoring, we don't do a lot of this except with somebody who's like working with the military or the US government or something on
Mhm.
construction projects or things like that. But when you bill a very large buyer like the Air Force, they're going to
Government.
take 90 days to pay you, maybe. If they're late, what recourse do you have? Not a whole lot. Invoice factoring is where a third party company will buy that invoice and give you cash right now at a discount. So maybe I have $1 million invoice I'm waiting on, and you come in and you buy it for $950,000.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I'll sell it because I need the cash now to pay my guys, and you can afford to wait for the entire invoice to come and get your $50,000. So invoice factoring, it's kind of an exciting tool. We just don't see a lot of it because of the size required, but it is an option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we've got the SBA loans.
Yes.
Yeah.
To refinance the startup loans after 2 years, to acquire another business or and commercial property.
Yeah.
So we've seen those because we have customers that have previous business like you,
Yep.
and then they want to start a new one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And even after they hit that magic 2 year mark,
Mhm.
then they have all sorts of new options available to them through traditional banks or through the SBA or through us, whichever. But
Absolutely.
those are additional options. Okay. Last couple of things here. All right. So what if even we can't help? We're kind of getting a reputation as being somebody who can help everybody, and that's not always true. But if you have a 680 or higher, we invite you to apply with us right now. If it's lower than that, we're going to work with you. But if your score is below a 680 and you haven't been around 6 months, we'll refer you to our friends at Ascendus.
Ascendus.
If it's below a 680 and you haven't been in business a year yet, we'll probably refer you to the Black Business Investment Fund. We're good friends with them. We have credit repair specialists, ASAP, Daniel, the amazing inquiry removal magician,
Yeah.
who can help clean up your credit report. And why do we do this? What do you get when you improve your credit score?
Well, if you wait a little bit and be patient and we work on that, later you can ask for more funding.
More and better funding.
Mhm.
When you improve your credit, you pay less for stuff.
Oh, yes.
That's your mortgage, that's your insurance, that's your car payments, it's everything. So much is tied to your credit score. So if we can't help you, we're sure going to try, and we're going to refer you to other specialists who can, because we want to get you to where you can qualify and get the funding you need to start or buy a business. So Carol, why does this matter to anybody listening today who's a SCORE client?
Because you may hear for the funding that you
Yep.
need, absolutely. And then the banks already maybe say not to you as
Yep,
well,
probably.
like
Yep.
happened to me.
Yeah, and me.
You need to know that there are alternatives
Yep.
of sources of funding. There's not always just the banks that are there, and
Is it the end of the road when a bank says no?
no, absolutely not. And we tried our best to help you to work things out, to get your score in the better place. And we have our secret weapon,
That's right.
which is our
Yeah.
cosigner also program. And then the bank say no, we'll call Otro and let's explore additional then avenues for funding business.
Exactly right. Our goals for anybody we work with, especially the startups, we want to help you get that business started. Let's get it off the ground, okay? And then we want to help you stay funded and stay alive to hit that magic 2 year mark. After the 2 year mark, suddenly everybody knows you're there. Every bank cares about you now. Here, have a toaster, come in, whatever. Now they all care about you. We want to get you that 2 year mark. And also we want to help you get your business credit set up the right way.
Yes.
So that ASAP the banks are chasing you with these offers. This is a real thing. Like we said, go to the website, find our other webinar, listen to that. It's amazing information. I had someone tell me last Wednesday this was life changing. Thank you for presenting this. So it's really helpful information. All right. So thank you. That's us. I'm Boyd. That's Carol.
Carol.
We are happy to first of all, make a couple links ready, resources available. If you know you need credit repair help, send an email to Carol at Otro Financial. She'll send you a referral to our friends at ASAP Credit Repair. If you want a copy of the slide deck, we'll send it out as a PDF. If you want to schedule a consultation, you can email Carol or apply for funding right at our website. We want to make everything available we can.
Thank you.
And we are now available, Tom, for any questions that have come up.
Great. Thank you so much, both Boyd and Carol, for providing a very informative presentation. We appreciate that. And as you just mentioned to everyone on the call, we will be sending a copy of this presentation deck as well as a replay link so you can listen to this webinar or refer to it in the future. It's time to ask questions. So if you'd like to submit them via chat, feel free to do so. We will wait on your questions.
Let's submit your questions and okay.
Okay. I don't see any questions.
Hey, Beth. Okay.
No questions yet.
And the QR.
Let me go here. Is there a
box? You and I.
No questions so far.
No questions so
No.
far.
Q&A.
Wow. We put everyone to sleep, I guess, huh?
No. Or maybe we gave all the answers.
Oh, maybe all,
already.
all the information is there now. It could be. Well, there's usually a question or two, but there's our emails. If you have a question you come up with later, you can certainly email either of us or both of us, and we promise we will get that question answered.
Mhm.
And just to, again, revisit our original presentation from SCORE, you can always scan the QR code on your mobile device. You can contact us at the email address, phone number, and website at the top right corner
Oh,
of the
we have
slide.
one question
Okay.
from Jasmine. Jasmine,
great.
do you need to look at the certain, oh, it went.
Was that in the chat?
I think so. Do you need to look at a certain report like Equinox, TransUnion?
Equifax.
Uh-huh.
Our system will pull from Experian,
Mhm.
which we tend to like the best.
Yes.
Um, but different lenders will require different information at different points. But to get you pre-qualified, the soft pull that we do through our website is through Experian.
Experian.
Through Experian. Yep.
TransUnion. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, Experian, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Yeah, ours pulls from Experian.
Mhm.
So many syllables.
Any other questions? We like all kinds of questions. There is no dumb question. There's always someone that also probably have the same question and
Good point.
just afraid to ask. Nope. We're here to help. I'm looking to start. Oh,
Hey, like a food truck?
love those.
Jasmine? Yeah, we love those. We're foodies. We love those. Yeah.
We are,
Where are you
Jasmine.
located, Jasmine? Florida. So are we. Wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, we'd be happy to look at options with you and help you get set up the right way.
We're on the Space Coast, Florida.
Yep.
Cars selling
I see. So
ice.
that's year round.
With this heat, yes, please.
Yeah, no kidding.
Have you
Okay.
can support a business loan for paying off a personal boat loan into a business loan to allow a commercial fishing charter business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the quick answer, Mr. Allen, is yes. Um, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get deeper into that, send us an email. We'll set up an appointment, and we can show you how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the charter businesses. Those are
Yeah, it's like the
exciting.
Turners. I'm looking forward to
Mhm.
that too.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, yes, we'll expect your email, Robert. Thank you.
What about a mobile boat food company?
Ooh, that is a
A
great
food
idea.
boat. Ahoy. All right. Well, Tom, we'll let you. Oh,
Okay.
Rob,
Right.
what is your email? Oh, let me show it to you again. If I can share the screen again, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. Please go ahead.
It is Boyd at ultrafinancial.com or Carol at ultrafinancial.com.
Should be visible again.
It is.
Okay.
Perfect.
Either one works.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, thank you again, everyone. Boyd and Carol, we appreciate the time you've taken to be with us, and to everyone on the
pleasure.
call. Thank you for investing in your time and getting a little more awareness and education about the current programs that are available. Please reach out to score.org/Minnesota if you'd like to request a mentor. Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Score. Thanks,
Have a
everyone.
great day. Bye.